Today we are going to discuss chapter 3 of class 12, Goodbye Party for Miss Pushpa. Okay, this is written by Nissim Ezekiel. Okay, so let's move forward. Nissim Ezekiel, he was born in 1925, is a prominent means a very famous, renowned, post-independence Indian poet. Okay, he is a post-independence Indian poet with a vision of Indian life, received through new themes and newer poetic techniques. Okay, so he uh, he is modifying the poetic techniques of British era to Indian style. Okay, so it is a humorous poem of 42 lines included in very Indian poems in Indian English. Okay, Indianize the English language. So he wants to Indianize. Okay, he wants to Indianize the English language at a creative level. What is looked for in the poem is the deviation from the rules of grammar and syntax in Babu English. Okay, Babu English means when Indian use English in their own style in British era, so that English is called Babu English. Okay, so such deviation, he wants to modify the British English into a Indian style of English language. Okay, so such deviation from the British English educated English are common among the intermediate level non-native speakers of English. It brings life and language together to comment on the inconsistencies of both. So okay, so he wants to compare the British English and the modified version of British English to Indian English. Okay, so let's start with the chapter. So in this poem, friends, a friend's poet is addressing and saying. So poet is addressing. Addressing means sambodhan karna. Okay, like addressing means giving speech. Okay, and saying, my dear sister is departing. Departing means leaving for foreign in 2-3 days. Okay, so poet is saying that my sister is leaving for a foreign country. Okay, they are arranging a party for her bon voyage. Okay, what is bon voyage? Bon voyage means happy journey. It is a French phrase. It means a happy journey. Miss Pushpa is a sweet lady with all smiling. Okay, so he is describing about Miss Pushpa. So he's saying that he is saying that she is a sweet lady with all smiling, not only externally but also internally. Okay, so Pushpa was a very happy person, uh, not only externally but also internally. Okay, so can you see this conjunction? They use a conjunction here, not only but also. Okay, so it is a pair of conjunction which connect externally and internally. Okay, so she smiles and smiles even if there is no reason. Okay, so the poet is saying that she smiles in every moment. Okay, in every moment she smiles only because she feels she should smile. Okay, she smiles because she feels that she should smile every time. Okay, she belong to a very high family. She belong to a very high family means she is very rich. Okay, her father is a renowned famous advocate. Okay, renowned means famous. So her father is a renowned advocate living in Balsar or Surat. Here the poet is saying that he doesn't remember from where she is belong to, but suddenly he remembered that she's from Surat, because he has a memory of delicious food cooked by uncle's old friend wife, which is nicely. Okay, so in the next point, Pushpa is popular among friends and people. Okay, she is very popular among friends and people. The poet saying whenever he asks for anything, she readily answers, just now only I will do it. Okay, so can you decipher this sentence? Just now only I will do it. Means she is always ready to do work instantly. Okay, she doesn't procrastinate. She doesn't procrastinate her work. Okay, so it shows her high spirit. Okay, so she has very high spirit. Okay, the poet always appreciates her good spirit. Okay, here the poet always appreciate her good spirit. Pushpa never says no to anything. Okay, she doesn't say no to anything. Okay, she is leaving now for improving her prospect. Okay, but now she is leaving for a foreign country, and she is leaving for improvement of her prospect. What do you mean by prospect? Prospect means your thinking, your your uh, your thoughts. Okay, so she wants to broaden her thoughts. Okay, uh, the poet wishes her bon voyage, that is happy journey, in a French way. Now I ask other speakers to speak. Here the poet is saying, I would like to ask other speaker. Other speaker means the poet friends to speak for her something, and afterward Miss Pushpa will do summing up. Okay, after that Miss Pushpa will finish the addressing. Okay, so this is the very relevant points of this chapter. You have to remember these chapters. Okay, it's like a summary of this chapter. Okay, so let's move forward to exercises. Okay, choose the word from the text which are opposite in meaning. Okay, you have to choose here the antonyms. Okay, and the first one is foe means enemy. The antonym of foe is friend. Native means your birthplace, and the antonym is foreign. Bitterness becomes sweetness, forget becomes remember, infamous become famous, unpopular becomes popular. Okay, find the meaning of French and Latin phrases. Okay, so these are phrases: deja vu, tete-a-tete, or avant-garde, numero uno, ab initio, status quo, lingua franca. Okay, so these are some French and Latin phrases, and we have to find the meaning of these phrases. Okay, they are very important. Okay, they are very important. In the advanced English, you found the use of these phrases. Okay, you will find the use of these phrases. So deja vu means it is a feeling that you have previously experienced something which is happening to you now. Okay, what do we mean by tete-a-tete? A private conversation. Avant-garde means work which modern to art, culture, music, literature, means modern thinking. Okay, which means modern thinking. Okay, modern thoughts. Next is numero uno means a grand occasion. Okay, a grand occasion. Ab initio means starting from the beginning. Ab initio. Status quo means to maintain the previous state. Okay, to maintain the previous state. Okay, next one is lingua franca. Lingua franca means a language of communication used along with one's mother tongue. Okay, suppose your mother tongue is Hindi. Okay, but you are using English for communication, and most of us in the world using English as lingua franca. Lingua franca means a language of communication. Okay, so English language is widely accepted as lingua franca. Okay, as we have already know that the English language is the lingua franca, and it is widely used to communicate with other parts of the world. Okay, uh, next question is, in this poem there are some distinctive features, okay, of Indian English that the poet parodies means the poet change according to himself. Okay, according to him convenient. Okay, the use of progressive ing form of verb of perception. Okay, which are not used in the finite verb phrase in British standard English. You are all knowing, she is feeling, I'm always appreciating. Can you see the knowing? No plus ing. I'm always appreciating. Appreciate plus ing. She is feeling. Feel plus ing. So these are verb of perception which the poet used in his poem. Okay. Next is omission of articles. He also omitted the articles like a very high family. Okay, if you write this sentence according to British English, so you have to put a before this sentence, a very high family. But the Indian poet used this part only, a very high family only. Okay, in the next sentence too, they should use a renowned advocate according to British English. But in Indian style, he omitted a article from this sentence. So he used only renowned advocate here. In the next one, he also omitted the summing up. Okay, he just only used summing up. Okay, he omitted the article the. Okay, next is use and positioning of adverbs at inappropriate places. Okay, he also violated the uh, rule of using the adverbs to appropriate places, and he is using the adverbs inappropriately, like only external sweetness, only external sweetness, this is the adverb. Okay, he used only external sweetness. Now which place, now which place. Okay, with men also and ladies also, with men also and ladies also are adverbs. Here here what is now is a adverb. Okay, so he used very differently, he used in Indian style. Okay, so he is he's a okay. Now it's time for home assignment. Okay, so what is home assignment here? Write down the words of glossary in your respective notebooks. Okay, so you have to write the glossary words in your respective notebooks. Next is read the passage given and give the answers of question based on the passage only. So you have to read this passage, okay, and answer these given question. So this is your home assignment. Okay, okay, and these answers should be in your respective notebooks. Okay, so this is the end of part 1. In the next part I will give you the question and answers. Okay, thank you, happy learning.